Hi friends, welcome to Start Study Score, and this is the fifth part of Unit and Dimension Chapter 1 Class 11. Dimensions रे part 5 रे हमें पढ़िवा को जाउछे applications of dimension and limitations of dimension. First of all, we'll move to what are the applications we can relate to in dimensional formula, how we can apply in our physical equations and all that. Now first one is to derive a relationship between a different physical quantities. Derive a relation between different physical quantities if only the dependent factors are known. I'll let you know how to know this. Now the second one is it helps us to check whether the particular equation is right or wrong. How? That I will show. Third one is convert the units of a physical quantity in one system to another system. What does that exactly mean? That means if one one physical quantity is measured in CGS unit, we can convert it easily to the SI unit. I will show it how. Now the first one is let's derive the relationship between different physical quantities. How is that happening? I'll tell you how. We will go to the blackboard for that. Now let's discuss one example. We are going to derive the physical there are different physical quantities and we need to derive a formula between them or relationship between them. How to derive it? Now for that I have to first write we know, this is the first example, we know that force acting on a particular body depends. Force is F. It is depends on, the question is telling that depends on the particular body's mass, its mass M, right? And depends also on its acceleration. Acceleration is A with a arrow mark. That means it's a vector. Force is also a vector. Now, is force a vector? No, force is not a vector. Yes or no? Force is a vector. So I will write it as F varies as, I'll omit the vector signs as such because in dimensional formula it is not required. So mo emti lekhi bhi je F is proportional to M to the power X. We don't know to which power it will be raised, and F varies as A to the power Y, whereas where X and Y are representing the powers of respectively M and A, right? You have to write this. It would be nice if you write this. This would be better when you are deriving the equation, any equation. Now, if I join these two things with force, what it would be? F varies as mx a y, right? So, if I go to the proportionality constant equals to jodi mu kar douchi, it will be k, where k is a proportionality constant, I can say, into mxay, right? So now I will go to the dimension part of it. Now this is the first equation. We know k is a dimensionless constant because it will be a number, any number, but it will be dimensionless. So we will omit the k part here. We will only go to the physical quantities. What are they? There are three physical quantities here. One is F, one is M, one is acceleration. Mass, force and acceleration. What is the dimension of force? M1, L1, T minus 2. This is the force dimension. We remember it. Suppose we remember it. Okay. Now here for M we have only M1, L0, T0 because mass has only fundamental quantity, it is the dimension of M only, and to the power X it is raised. Now for A we have L1 T minus 2. M I have omitted, I can write it also M0 to the power Y. So what it would be, I have to equate, these two things are multiplied, so I will also multiply them, and in the result I will write for M it would be X, and for the second term y multiplied with 0 will be 0, right? So mx, okay. What would be L? L here is 0, and for here it would be y. 1 multiplied with y will be y. What would be T? For T, x multiplied with 0 will be 0, and here it would be minus 2y. Now we are coming to a point where both of the expression in LHS and RHS are in terms of MLT, the fundamental quantities, right? Now we have to equate them. How to equate them? Again, I am going to write the same equation again so that you will have a good look at it. Okay, so what we derived? We derived that M1 L1 T minus 2 equals to, remember we have omitted the constant of proportionality because it is dimensionless, and we derived that after multiplying M with A, which is raised to X and Y respectively, we are getting M to the power X, L to the power Y, T to the power minus 2Y. Okay, if it is so, so here M has 1, that means X equals to 1. L has 1, L has the power 1, L will be the power Y in the RHS, that means that Y equals to 1, right? And here T minus 2, and here T equals to minus 2Y. That means minus 2 equal to minus TY. Right? If it is so, we got already the value, but we are equating it. X equals to 1, Y equals to 1. Only here we can see that here also we are getting Y equals to 1. So what we are getting actually, F equals to Km to the power X, A to the power Y, we have written in the equation 1. This is equation number 2, from where we got X equals to 1, Y equals to 1. And this is equation number 3. So putting equation 3 in equation 1. Okay, what would we be getting? M1A1. That means F equals to MA. This we derived the equation, derived a formula relating different physical quantities using the dimensional formula. This is the process how we do it. Okay, now here we can write K equals to 1, which is a dimensionless constant. You can write it as dimensionless constant, and it is equal to 1 experimentally. Okay, so this is the first one. Then we will move to the second one. What was the second one? It helps us to check whether the equation is right or wrong. Well, to it I would say, we have already discussed it, still I would discuss it again so that you will be clarified about the subject. We are checking that the particular equation is correct or not. How? Dimensionally. It is only dimension. Okay, we are not going to the numbers. It is not numerical. We are just checking whether the equation is dimensionally correct or not. How to check that? We have already done that part in the previous part 4, but yet I am doing it again. Or not. How to do that? So think that we have potential energy. Now potential energy of a body depends on its mass, right? M. It depends on its acceleration due to gravity. We know that. For that we can write G. And potential energy is also dependent upon the height of the body, right? If it is so, H. If it is so, we may write potential energy, we can take it as E. It is an energy, so we can take it as E. So now E would be varying as M to the power X, G to the power Y, as we have written in the first equation, you remember. So H to the power Z. Okay. Now what I'll be doing? I'll be equating with E with a dimensionless constant, which would be 1 experimentally, and M to the power X, G to the power Y, H to the power Z, and X, Y, Z are the powers supposed to be the dimensional powers to which M, G, H are raised, right? So this is the first equation. Now how to equate, whether to check it is properly correct or not? We will equate the dimension of each one individually. So for E, we have the dimension M1, L2, T minus 2. Because what is energy? Energy is mgh, m1 L2 T minus 2. Now here we will go to the right side of the equation. Going to the right side of the equation, K will be omitted, right? K will be omitted. Isko we neglect it. K will be neglected as it is a dimensional less constant. What would be M? M would be mx only, because L0, T0 will be omitted. So mx is in dimension, it is only mx. What is G? G is L1 T minus 2, it is acceleration only. So to the power y. What is h? Only L1 to the power z. So we will equate it again. I am writing it again. Equals to m1 L2 T minus 2, because energy is force into displacement. And here we have written mx L minus 1. Sorry, L is 1 only. T minus 2 to the power y and L to the power z. That's what we have written, right? So now we will equate, but before that we need to simplify it a little more. So it tikke simplify kardale hobo mx, because m au koti bhi nahi, but there is L. There are two L places here and here. So it would be y plus z. Okay. Now for T, there are only one places only for T here, the middle expression. So it would be minus T 2y. Okay. For M there is one expression. For L there are two expressions. So we need to combine it. We add it up. Now for T there is only one expression, the middle expression. So we need to write it like that. So it came according to the LHS one in terms of M, L, T, only fundamental quantities. Then we were going to equate it. Okay. So before equating, I have written it like this. So what we are getting here, x equals to 1 first of all from M, right? From T, what we are getting, minus 2y equals to minus 2. That means y equals to minus 2 by minus 2, that is 1, right? So we got x equals to 1, y equals to 1. What would be z? Z comes here, L. L is 2 here. Okay. And here it is y plus z. So we need to write that y plus z equals to 2. And we got the value of y as 1. So 1 plus z equals to 2. What is z then? Z is equals to 2 minus 1 equals to 1. So x equals to 1. Y also equals to 1. Z also equals to 1. Right? We derived it. So if we have derived it, we can see that E equals to the power we have raised, m to the power x, g to the power y, h to the power z. What we will be writing? E equals to mgh, because all x, y, z are only 1. So the formula for potential energy is correct. That E equals to mgh. So we are able to derive it according to, if we know the dimensional formula for each term, then we are able to derive it. Okay. So it is about whether the equation is dimensionally correct or not. I am repeatedly saying it. When we are deriving a formula, that whether it is correct or not, then we are simply checking whether the equation is dimensionally correct or not. Not in numerically, not in any way, only whether it is dimensionally correct or not. Now, the third one, convert the units of a physical quantity in one system to another system. Now, this is the easier one, but people find it very difficult. Let's see whether you find it difficult or not. But before moving to the third equation, I want to give you a question. What is that question is? The question is here. This is the first question I am giving ever. So this question is, time period of a simple pendulum depends on its length. Okay, which is, you can take it as L, time period you can take it as T. It also depends on its mass, M can be taken. It also depends on acceleration due to gravity, which you can take as G. Now what I am asking, you will be thinking, derive a relation between time period of the simple pendulum and the length, mass and acceleration due to gravity. Derive the equation, which will be dimensionally correct for this situation. Okay. Now for your reference, you must be getting the answer as I am giving you the hint. The hint is, you must be getting the answer as T equals to 2 pi root over L by G. This would be the equation you will be getting. Okay. Now where the 2 pi comes from? This is the 2 pi is the constant of proportionality, which I am giving you. We have taken as 1 also. Here we are taking constant of proportionality as 2 pi. Okay. Now you can please derive it, and if you are not able to do, please write me back. So I'll be deriving it in the next video. For now, we are, if you have written this question or have taken a screenshot of it, I am deleting it so that we will move over to the next thing. Next thing is, which I have already said, that if the system is in one unit, we can describe it in another. How? Let's see how. It is actually N1 U1 equals to N2 U2. What it is? You must be thinking. Now for U1 and U2 are system of units in different ways. Okay. It can be CGS and SI or MKS or FPS, something like that. N1 and N2 are the numerical things to it. I have already said that units are always have two parts. One is the unit part, one is the numerical part. So how to convert it? Let's convert. I will show it to you. Convert 10 Newton into dynes. How to convert it? Now we know that if we need to convert, we have to write that N2 equals to 10. We need to derive what is N1. Okay. And what is U2? U2 is in Newton, right? Isn't it? So Newton is in U2. Okay. So U2 is in Newton. I must write it first. Then what would be U1? We know it would be dyne. It has given, describe it in dyne. So U1 is dyne, U2 is Newton, 10 is N2, N1 we need to find out. So how to find out? For finding it out, we need to do this way. We will write that N1 equals to 10 M2 by M1 to the power x, which we don't know yet. Similarly, L2 by L1 divided by L2 by L1 to the power y, which we don't know. Similarly, T2 by T1, all M1, L1, T1 are coming from this side. Because we know the dimensional formula, we are just moving it to the other side. Okay. So I think you can correspond to it. Z. X, Y, Z, the value we need to discover or find out. Now what is M2? It is actually 1 kg. in Newton SI system, and what is M1 in CGS system? It is 1 gram, right? I will simply writing like that. Okay. Now we know that F equals to this X, Y, Z will be replaced by the dimension of force. Why so? Because all are in Newton into dyne. So what is Newton? Newton is in SI and dyne is in CGS. But kahar unit seta? Whom unit it is? It is of unit of force. So rather than writing XYZ, we can simply write as, so I am erasing it, XYZ is not needed. We can simply write it as force, what is the dimension of force? M1, L1, T minus 2. So similarly, we will write it here, 1 meter by 1 centimeter to the power 1. Similarly, here will be 1 second by 1 second to the power minus 2, which will be tending to 0. So we will finish it here. Okay, right? So it would be 10 into 10,000 by 1 into 100 by 1. Now it is not 0, it is actually 1. You must remember, it is not actually 0, because 1 second by 1 second will lend to only 1. Okay, so into 1 I am writing. So what it would be? N1 would be 10 to the power 6. So 10 Newton is actually equals to 10 to the power 6 is the numerical value attached dyne. Right? We have equated Newton and dyne. We have equated the 10 value. We have already given the N1. We got to be 10 to the power 6. So this is how we can convert one unit of systems of a particular physical quantity to another by this dimensional formula. That's I needed to show you out. Now there is a question for you. Before we end this topic here today, there is a question for you, another question. I hope you will do it, and if you cannot do it, please drop the question in the comment section so that we will be doing that together. As I have already said, the question number 2 is convert 500 watt into org per second. Okay. What is a watt? 1 watt, I will give you that, 1 joule per second. Okay. So after that, this is the numerical value I have given, what I have already given. You have to convert 1 joule into second into org per second with one numerical value given. You have to find the other numerical value attached to the CGS system here. So I think you can do it. If you can't do it, please drop the question, or you have a doubt, please raise your voice in the comment section. Now this is the 3 applications we have derived. Now what is the limitations of dimensional analysis? What it does not give us? What is there that it does not give us? It does not give any idea about dimensional constant. As I was particularly saying, whether the constant is there or not, if we are equating something, we have to give it some value. Okay. Now if there is no value to it, it is not, the dimensional formula is not giving us any idea about the dimension less constant or dimension with dimension constant. No idea. Second is, it does not give any dimension of angle. Okay. Third is, it does not give any idea about cosine, sine or exponential function. It does not give any idea. So these are basically dimensionless. Fourth one is, relation cannot be derived for quantities which are not dependent on MLT, or they are dependent on more than 3 factors which are MLT. Okay. So if a factor is dependent on more than 3 fundamental quantities, that is mass, length and time, then we are unable to derive it. That is the worst limitation of dimensional analysis. So I hope this part helps you, and the questions also boost your brain, and you are able to do it. If you are not able to do it, write me out. Just click in the comment section and write it. And please like and share my videos, subscribe, so that if you notify button is on, then you will get the notification whenever a new video is uploaded. So take care, have a good day, keep practicing, keep asking questions, so that we will be having an interactive conversation. Take care, have a good day.